Hi, everybody. This is Dr. Stephanie, your double board certified critical care physician. I work with physicians who are struggling with their jobs, burnt out with their careers, or who just want some career advice. Through my books, webinars, coaching, and speaking, I help physicians discover alternative jobs and careers in medicine so that they can practice medicine on their own terms. Happy and merry day after Christmas. You can see I'm still in the celebration mode. As you see, I have my purple Santa hat on, but I just wanted to take some time and jump on here really quickly to share with you guys something that's kind of near and dear to my heart. Now, I hope everybody had a great Christmas on yesterday. I hope everybody's having a wonderful holiday season. I hope Santa Claus brought you the gifts that you wanted, or if Santa Claus didn't bring them, I hope that special somebody brought your gift that you want. But in case that didn't happen, and even if it did, I wanted to spend some time talking to you all about the best gift that you can give yourself. And do you want to know what that is? What is the best gift that you can actually give yourself? Hi, Natasha, how are you? Merry Christmas. Merry day after Christmas. I hope you are having a great time. But what is the one thing that you can give yourself? What's the best thing that you can give yourself? You know what that is? And that is the gift of you. That's right. You are the best thing that you can give yourself. And why do I take some time to talk about this? Because a lot of times during the holidays, a lot of people are struggling with depression, sadness, or emptiness. And the day after Christmas, some of us have felt a little disappointed. We're feeling a letdown. It's like 364 days of the year. It's, aiming towards this big day. Christmas, 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 Christmas. And everything is supposed to be perfect. And it's supposed to be this picture perfect event. And then it happens and you're kind of like, oh, is that all there is? And maybe, just maybe, you're feeling a little let down, depressed, or just a little disappointed, or maybe you have the blahs. And I want to take some time and talk about that, because I think a lot of this has to do with the fact that we may be missing something internal. And I think one of the things that we can do for ourselves is to give ourselves the gift of ourselves. And what do I mean by that? I want to take a couple of minutes talking about 3 ways that you can give yourself the gift of you. The first thing that I think we all need to do is to show up for ourselves. We oftentimes show up for everybody else. We physicians show up for everybody else. We show up for our patients. Those of us who are married, we show up for our spouses. Those of us who have kids, we show up for our kids. Those of us who are business owners, we show up for our clients. We show up for our vendors. Oftentimes, we show up for everybody else and we put ourselves last. And when that happens, everybody else's needs get taken care of, and sometimes our needs don't. And so that may lead us into feeling kind of empty and unappreciated. So I would encourage each of us to put as much effort into showing up for ourselves that we put into showing up for other people. Number one. The second thing that you can do to give yourself the gift of you is to stand up for yourself. Many times, we as physicians feel like we are unappreciative. Some of us are in bad job situations. I used to be in a bad situation. Now I'm doing locums for that very reason. But I had to stand up for myself and decide what was important for me. So stand up for yourself. Some of us are in bad relationships, bad work situations. Some of us are in situations in which we feel taken advantage of and not appreciated. But one of the things that we have to do is decide to stand up for ourselves and let our feelings be known, express our displeasure, and figure out what it is that we want to do and what we need out of the situation. And oftentimes it's something as simple as setting limits and setting boundaries. That's a way that we can stand up for ourselves. And setting boundaries is so important because in this age of social media, There are no boundaries anymore. People post anything and everything on Facebook and Instagram. People have almost lost their minds in terms of privacy and discretion. And the thing is, that's so damaging about social media is that it's available 24/7, and people always have access to us. They have access to us in terms of what they're feeding us, what we're viewing, what we're listening to, but people also have access to us 24/7 in terms of how they can contact us. Back in the day, people could only contact you via phone, snail mail, or saying something to you in person. And then not too long ago, then there was email. People don't even email you anymore. Nowadays, strangers will text you. People will slide into your DMs in Facebook Messenger. People will message you in Instagram. There's stories I hear from physicians in which they get messages on Facebook from patients who have found them. Boundaries. We need to set boundaries. That's one of the ways that we can stick up for ourselves, by setting limits and setting boundaries so that we can show up for ourselves and we can give ourselves the gift of ourselves. So the first thing we need to do is we need to show up for ourselves and put as much effort into taking care of us that we put into taking care of other people. The second thing we need to do in terms of, hey, Dr. Camille, how are you? The second things we need to do in terms of giving ourselves the gift of ourselves is to stand up for ourselves. Decide what you want out of life. Decide what you want from your career. If you're in a situation, a relationship, or any kind of situation that you feel disrespected or taken advantage of, Dr. Camille said that's why she changed her Facebook name. I specifically remember that patient sliding into your DM asking you about some GYN issue. Yeah, that's a problem. But you had to set boundaries, because if not, people have constant access to you, and that is just not good for you. So therefore, we have to, stand up for ourselves in terms of setting limits, setting boundaries, letting our feelings be known, and demanding that we get the respect and appreciation that we deserve and that we give to so many other people. And the third thing that we can do in order to give ourselves the gift of ourselves is to step it up for ourselves. And what I mean by this is that so many times throughout the years we set goals in terms of what we want to do in different areas of our life in order to improve those areas, whether it be financially, spiritually. We got some emotional things we need to work on. We got some things that we need to work on in terms of our careers, our education, our profession, even our health. And sometimes we are so motivated, but then that motivation kind of waxes and wanes. And now we kind of need to step it back up so that we can do the work that we need to do for ourselves, on ourselves, so that we can show up for ourselves and to do those things that will help us to give us the gift of ourselves. So, on this day after Christmas, I hope, we're taking some time to kind of reflect, be grateful, but also acknowledge the feelings that we have. And some of us are feeling disgusted, unappreciated, tired. We are feeling like we got the short end of the stick, or sometimes we're feeling a certain type of way and we just can't articulate why we feel the way we feel when everybody is telling us that this time of the year is the most wonderful time of the year. Well, really, it's not for a lot of people, for a lot of reasons. But I just want to take some time to encourage you all and encourage us and to say this needs to be a time in which we decide that we're going to make ourselves a priority. We're going to give ourselves the gift of ourselves because we're going to show up for ourselves. We're going to stand up for ourselves, and we're going to step it up for some of the things that we need to do, because you are the most important person in your life. You are the most important person in your life, and nobody can be you except for you. So that is why this Christmas, this day after Christmas, going into 2019, we all need to resolve to give ourselves the gift of us. And I am Dr. Stephanie. Thank you for joining me, and we will talk soon. Thank you, and bye-bye.